Hello, I'm Jake Boudrot, Civic Journalist at Community Television. In this episode of Strait Talk, we attended an art exhibit at Centre La Picasse in Petit de Grat in memory of local artist Ronald Gonzague. This was also an opportunity for Centre La Picasse to celebrate winning the Louis E. Deveau Award for Excellence for their role in promoting and preserving the Acadian language and culture.
So, mesdames et messieurs, les chers artistes qui ont participé ce soir, merci d'être avec nous. So, ladies and gentlemen, the artists who have participated tonight, thank you for being here. This is an extraordinary event. C'est très, très extrêmement. Je suis émouvée de voir le talent que nous avons ici à l'île Madame. It's truly amazing to see the work, the art that is on display here this evening. And je pense que vous avez tous marché, vous avez regardé, vous avez pu vous voir. Puis l'art, c'est une expression. L'art, ça nous donne une habilité de raconter une histoire, la culture et les expériences de d'autres personnes qui ont vécu des choses de partout. Puis c'est aussi une chose pour nous inspirer, de faire une réflexion, et ça nous donne beaucoup de joie. So art in itself is a manner of somebody expressing their history, their story, their culture, and also the experiences that they may have had depending on their lives. But when I look around and I see everyone, art is also an ability to bring us, to inspire us, for us to have reflection, and also brings joy. Right? Ici, la Picasse, comme vous le savez, ça fait 27 ans que nous sommes en existence. Il y a des personnes ici qui ont travaillé depuis du commencement de la Picasse, puis qui ont fait beaucoup de travail pour que la Picasse soit, comme on dit, que il y a quelqu'un qui m'a demandé à soir, ça veut dire quoi la Picasse? C'est quoi? Mais la Picasse, c'est un encre. Right? C'est un encre qu'on a utilisé, que ça fait dans notre culture des Acadiens qui ont fait ça avec leurs mains, qui ont construit des encres. Mais c'est aussi significatif parce que nous autres, la Picasse, je dis toujours, ça nous ancre, nous autres, notre culture acadienne. On est une bâtisse où ce que le monde peut venir fêter et continuer de reconnaître notre culture et notre histoire et surtout notre langue. So what I'm saying is, somebody asked me this evening, what is la Picasse? So I gave them a little story about the Picasse is an anchor. It's a wooden anchor, and there's some on display here this evening. That's been in the history of Acadian that now they used to, I guess, tie their boats, or their boats wouldn't go afloat. But it's more to that. Like the Picasse has been in existence for 27 years, and we recently, and Monique was there, and a few other people were there, we received a prize, the Prix d'Excellence Louis E. Deveau, for our community, for their involvement in the community, and certainly for preserving our language and our culture. But the Picasse is central. It's what anchors our community, our culture, and our language. So we were reconnaissants d'avoir ce prix-là, mais le prix, c'est à toutes de vous autres. C'est à tous les artistes qui viennent ici, qui nous démontrent leur passion, soit que c'est la chanson, la danse, les arts, peu importe. Ça appartient à tout le monde, ce prix-là. Right? So the prize that we received is not just a testimony of what people do here, but everybody who's been involved over the years in coming here to La Picasse, right? Whether you're an artist for singing, for dancing, showing your art. And tonight, c'est un gros événement parce que c'est aussi à la mémoire de Ronald à Gonzague qui a touché tout le monde ici. Ronald était une personne qui était très, très passionnée de pas nécessairement juste son art, mais de sa culture. Puis peu importe si vous regardez les peintures à Ronald, quand vous rentrez, tout ce que Ronald a fait, ça démontre le thème de qu'est-ce que les Acadiens nous sommes, puis qu'est-ce que l'histoire acadienne. Vous regardez, c'est des bateaux, hein, les vieilles maisons. Il y en a que c'était la morue sec, qui ça n'existe plus. Moi, je m'en souviens quand j'étais jeune, il y avait des pattes partout avec de la morue qui étaient sur des lignes. Right? Mais ça se démontre dans ces peintures. Puis on est très fiers ce soir d'avoir surtout sa famille ici avec nous ce soir, parce que là, je pense qu'ils sont tous ici, les sœurs. Je pense que j'ai vu la Yvette, Donna, Caroline et Chopin, puis il y avait Ruth, puis il y a aussi, Ruth est là en arrière, puis là il y a aussi Dawn qui travaille avec nous, qui est la nièce à Ronald, comme on dit. Right? So for those who don't know, Ronald was, a very passionate artist in this community and somebody who touched the lives of many and inspired many artists to continue their art. And tonight, we're very fortunate to have his family here with us. But the thing too is, in the memory of Ronald, and there's two great artists as well over the last year that have also passed away. And we've got their work here this evening. Puis ça, c'est Blair Bird, comme on dit, qui n'est plus avec nous. Et aussi en arrière, comme vous cachez là, on a le travail aussi à Gary, qu'on disait Baudelaire Boudrot. Right? Gary Boudrot, qui a peinturé, puis que ses peintures sont ici aussi. Alors, c'est de préserver qu'est-ce que ce monde-là fait et le démontrer, comme on fait aussi que Ronald, il a fait ça pour tout le monde. Alors, je vous remercie pour être ici avec nous. J'espère que vous avez bien aimé ça et que je pense que c'est une première année et je pense qu'avec qu'est-ce qu'on a vu, que c'est quelque chose qui va grandir et qui va continuer annuellement. So, thank you for everyone who dedicated their time and their passion, their art with us. Certainly for everybody to see. It's truly incredible and keep it up because it's overwhelming to see this. But this would not have been able, like everything you see here, et c'est la grâce à 3 personnes. Puis j'aimerais que vous venez ici, Monique Marchand, qui est la direction de La Picasse présentement. Connie Sansa, viens ici. On a Connie Sansa aussi qui était là avant. On a Dawn qui est là aussi, qui aime prendre votre argent, mais elle travaille beaucoup ici. Alors aussi, il y a beaucoup de bénévoles, comme vous avez vu, il y a des petites jeunes ici ce soir de l'école Beauport aussi, qui sont en train de mettre des choses ensemble. So on les remercie. Alors, je vais passer le micro, I will pass le micro. OK, c'est pas, on ne va pas parler tout de suite. OK. So, on a un invité spécial. On a une personne qui ne pouvait pas être ici parce qu'elle habite en Colombie-Britannique. Puis ça, c'est Vanessa, la fille à madame, je sais, ou je dis Monsieur Lio, mais, tu sais, qui sont ici, à soir, surtout pour Vanessa. Mais Vanessa est en Colombie-Britannique, c'est ça? Alors, ici, vous pouvez voir qu'elle a quelques de ses toiles ici. So Vanessa, couldn't be here, but her family, her mom and dad are here, certainly. So they will come forward, and I will invite, je pense que c'est toi, Lio, qui va parler, ou les deux, ou une. Vous pouvez les deux venir. So I would invite them forward, because they have some words to say on her behalf, surtout de sa part. And I think there's a presentation. Alors, Monsieur Lio.
Merci, il me fait plaisir d'être ici ce soir. Surtout, c'est un honneur pour moi de pouvoir lire le message que Vanessa veut partager avec tous vous autres ici ce soir. C'est le message qu'elle a à cœur et pourquoi est-ce qu'elle a fait ses peintures. Et puis pas seulement Vanessa, je dois dire aussi, il y a beaucoup de belles peintures ici, beaucoup de beau travail. Je vous félicite tous ceux-là qui ont fait le beau travail jusqu'à dans la grande salle et partout. Excellent, continuez. Mais maintenant, voilà le message de Vanessa. Un petit mot à propos de Ronald à Gonzague. Quand j'étais à l'école de Petit de Grat, j'adorais dessiner et colorier. J'ai participé à de nombreux concours d'art et j'ai remporté de nombreux prix. Lorsque l'école a offert d'art à la fin de la journée, j'ai sauté sur l'occasion. La première fois que je me souviens avoir rencontré Ronald à Gonzague, c'était dans ses cours d'art. J'ai aimé tout ce qu'il représentait. J'ai adoré qu'il soit un vrai artiste. Et il prenait le temps de me montrer ce qu'il savait à propos des arts. Il me donnait des conseils sur mes dessins et comment appliquer les ombres correctement. Mais ce qui m'a le plus frappé avec Ronald, C'était sa nature douce et sa véritable gentillesse. J'adorais ses cours d'art, mais après un bout de temps, ils se sont rendus à une fin. Mais ce n'était pas la fin de Ronald pour moi. Un été, le festival acadien de Petit de Grat lui a demandé de peindre sur des plaques pour les prix du festival. C'étaient les plaques qu'il remettait au meilleur flot dans le défilé des chars allégoriques, au bateau le mieux décoré, dans la bénédiction de la flotte, Évangeline et Gabriel, pour cette année et à tous ceux qui recevront un prix au cours de la semaine. Cet été-là, il est venu chez moi pour me retrouver. Il m'a dit, je me demandais si tu pourrais m'aider avec ces plaques. Vous avez une belle calligraphie, une belle écriture. Et donc, si je peins un petit drapeau, ferez-vous l'écriture? Honnêtement, j'étais intimidé par cette demande parce que le Festival acadien de Petit de Grat, c'était un événement très important dans notre communauté. Et voilà que le meilleur artiste local m'a demandé de l'aider. Remarquant mon incitation, il me dit, « Vous ne le savez pas, peut-être, mais vous avez un don, un talent, un gift. Moi, je le sais, je le vois. Et vous devez développer ce don. Ne l'ignore pas, n'oublie pas, vous devez le pratiquer et le développer, car il est là, vous avez la capacité de le partager pour que les gens en profitent. Ça, c'est un cadeau en soi. » Ronald est revenu l'été suivant avec la même demande. Chaque fois que je le voyais, il me demandait si je pratiquais mes œuvres d'art. D'habitude, j'hochais la tête, flatté de voir comment il croyait en moi. Mais enfin, je lui rappelais que je ne pouvais pas aller à l'école pour les arts, que cela coûterait bien trop cher et que je ne pouvais pas payer pour mes études avec un salaire d'artiste. Et à chaque fois, il me disait de ne pas sous-estimer mes capacités. Il me disait que ce don, il est là, et que peu importe ce que je fais dans la vie, il sera toujours là, prêt à être développé. Et il disait, vous y reviendrez un jour, et quand ce sera le cas, n'oublie pas d'où tu viens. Vous êtes Acadienne. Vous devriez en être fier. Votre don dans les arts, il sera toujours avec vous, et lorsque vous serez prête, votre cœur le trouvera. Ces paroles toujours reflètent de sa gentillesse. Ces mots sont toujours restés avec moi. J'adorais les arts, mais je ne pouvais pas les considérer comme un mode de vie. Je suis allé à l'université, je suis devenu physiothérapeute et j'étais en pratique pendant plusieurs années, jusqu'à ce que mes mains soient usées au point que je ne puisse plus le faire. Parfois, dans nos malheurs, il y a une lueur d'espoir. Pour moi, c'est que je pouvais encore tenir un pinceau. J'ai retrouvé ma pratique de l'art, et quand je fais la peinture, je pense souvent à Ronald. Surtout quand je peins des pièces de par chez nous. Il a eu une influence incroyable sur moi, et j'aimerais bien d'avoir eu l'occasion d'une conversation de plus avec lui. Dès le premier jour du cours d'art après l'école, Ronald croyait en moi. J'ai récemment lancé ma carrière artistique et il n'aurait pas pu avoir plus raison. C'est dans mon cœur, c'est mon don et je suis plus que prêt d'y participer. Avec tout mon cœur, merci Ronald. Je peux vous donner un peu. Je vais seulement prendre une minute pour vous dire, oui, ça c'est les peintures de ma fille, je suis assez content. La première que vous voyez, la plus grande, elle est priceless. Parce que ça, c'est mes 4 enfants que vous voyez là. OK? Le premier, c'est Vance, mon aîné. Le deuxième, c'est elle-même, Vanessa. Le troisième, c'est Wendy. Et bien sûr, le dernier, c'est mon Benjamin, mon bébé. Puis ici ce soir. J'aime lui. OK? Donc, puis l'autre petite toile qu'elle a faite là, c'est le copaillette. Qui tient beaucoup à cœur. Toutes les fois qu'elle vient, tous les étés, elle se rend visiter cette place. Elle adore cette place et elle y va à tous les étés. Merci bien. Puis il y en a une autre ici derrière de moi. Elle est partie. Mais elle avait une autre belle voile là, que j'ai vue ce soir. Elle n'a jamais voulu me dire où elle allait. Mais elle m'a dit sold. C'est vendu. Je ne sais pas qui. Mais une journée, je le saurai. Et merci bien à tout le monde d'être venu. Et merci Ronald.
Je voulais justement prendre un petit moment pour dire un immense merci à la famille Landry parce qu'on est, comme M. Léo l'a décrit, on a 2 belles toiles originales ce soir de Vanessa. Alors c'est formidable parce que sans leur petite connexion, on n'aurait pas pu les avoir ici en personne. Mais ce matin, j'ai aussi un grand plaisir de dire que ce matin, j'ai eu une très belle conversation avec une personne qui va rester anonyme pour l'instant. Mais cette personne m'est arrivée pour me dire que la Picasse sera récipient d'une des toiles originales de Van Golden qu'elle vient de compléter qui s'appelle Acadian. Alors cette toile-là sera revenue à ses racines ici au Petit de Grat. J'en aurai plus à dire quand j'en aurai plus d'informations, mais on a eu quelqu'un qui nous a fait une donation anonyme je vais la remonter à l'écran et vous pourrez la voir. Mais un grand merci à tout le monde qui sont venus ici ce soir participer avec nous autres. C'était tellement beau de voir tous ces artistes se rassembler. Des gens d'ici qui sont venus s'installer ici, puis on voit bien la beauté de notre petite région se refléter dans tous vos dons artistiques. Merci beaucoup.
Il y a aussi, je m'en vais pas si vous vous rappelez, mais il y en a des tisanes de bois. Vous rappelez-vous des tisanes de bois? Oui. Moi, je m'en souviens, c'était Arthur de Wolf qui m'en avait fait, puis je jouais à ça à la go, là. Je crois que je l'ai cassé parce que l'homme a été si vite. So one of the arts here is somebody makes wooden heart. And I'm going to ask him to come play his little Monsieur de Bois. So je vais, Terence Fortune, pourrais-tu amener ton petit Monsieur de Bois? Puis je vais demander à Sophie de jouer une petite chanson vite.
Hello everybody, I'm Connor Sampson. I'm the Tillil summer student. You may recognize me from the last 2 years. This is my 3rd year here. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be joined with a local artist here at the La Picasse today at the art show, and I'm speaking with
Mark Connors.
All right, so Mark Connors, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And we're just going to ask you a few basic questions. We might start you off with what are we looking at here?
So this is an acrylic on board, hardboard, and it's just a study of like the cow and relation to Mother Earth, and so phases of the moon. But my technique too is my painting technique's also involved with this, which I can explain later maybe with that one. But we also have the continents of the Earth on the cow to tie that in together.
Yes, that's such an important detail. I mean, I would have never even noticed that, but it's hidden.
From a lot of people, yeah.
Yes, it's very good.
So I'd say this is probably classified as surrealism. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, it's a very unique piece. And speaking of the material and the design of this, I was going to ask you, what do you think like your main material or medium is when you do your art? What do you kind of like to use? What's your direction for material?
Well, it's usually acrylics, and I love the viscosity of paint.
Yeah.
So that's why I have this technique here. You can see it better over here. Mm-hmm. I tend to call this like controlled action painting. Mm-hmm. So what it is I'm using the brush to make that mark, and then it's like the gravity takes the paint on, and if I don't like it, I just wipe it away, because basically this would be dry, so it's using wet paint on dry background.
Okay.
And so that's that technique.
Wow. Wow.
And these ones are more, this is on paper, but that's more like using a watercolor technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Neat.
But that's also acrylic.
Okay.
And the frame I found on the beach. I do a lot of beach combing.
Yeah.
So I was able to, like, it was a board that was sun baked, and I cut it up and made the frame.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. I would have never knew that. Yeah. Yeah. So you got a lot of variety here. I was going to ask you. So where do you draw inspiration from your art? Like where did you start there? Yeah.
For these, it was on the beach. That's just walking and taking all the natural world here is just beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, I love this area for the beach and the landscape. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And also, I was going to just ask you right quick. So, how long have you been doing art, and why did you get into this industry?
Well, I was originally a graphic artist, so I graduated from college in graphic design, and then I went into the big smoke, the city, and worked there for like 15 years. And then I got back out, and I actually got into custom picture framing after that.
There you go.
So that's what I did before I moved here.
There you go. Neat. That's very cool. And this is kind of like a bigger, kind of just a broader question, is why do you think local artists, as talented as they are, with local art scene, it's such a big scene and such a big industry, and there's so much talent, what do you think would be the best kind of way to get some more light shined on it, and for maybe some local artists and some younger artists as well, kind of trying to get into the industry? How do you think we could try and kind of shine some more light on great local works like this?
Well, I think the best place to start is here at the library. I mean, this is such a great venue right now. Yeah. And getting into a gallery, there's so much competition, and I guess they say to take pictures and you send them in by emails, to different galleries. But I'm going to try just bringing the actual work into galleries, and showing them right there what it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's kosher or not, but it's a technique that I think I'd like to try.
Yeah.
I don't know about younger generation, how the digital age too, right? It's all like they know more about that than I do, and because I'm analog is what I grew up with.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be bringing my paintings.
Yeah. Right, and just one more question here for you, Mark. So obviously this is just a great detail of art here, and something that I would never be capable of.
Sure you would.
But I'm curious, how long would something like this usually take you on average?
Well, I've probably a day, or for instance, this one maybe take me a day, because there's different. The technique is like you have to work wet on wet, or you have to work wet on dry. So you have to let it dry. I'm not one of those types that uses a hair dryer. Mm-hmm. I let it dry naturally. So the actual time would be less, but it would take me maybe a day to do one.
Okay.
Just for drying time.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Mark. We really appreciate your time, and it was an honor. Yeah. That's Mark Connors at the La Picasse here at Deveau Community Television. So I'm now joined at the Picasse with Ian McKinnon. He's a local artist here. And Ian, just wanted to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to highlight your art.
Thank you. I feel really honored to be a part of this. I'm relatively new to the area. My partner is from Petit de Grat, but we've only been living here for about 9 months. So to be invited in and be part of this celebration is really, really special.
Perfect. We're really glad to have you. And I just wanted to start off with just maybe if you want to just mention a little bit about the art itself and maybe how it's made or the content. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the work that's with us is all work that I've made since moving here and getting my studio set up. And these days I'm out walking and looking a lot and taking digital images of things of interest, and then I bring them back to the studio. And it might be surprising to some of the viewers, but these are actually drawings and they're not paintings. And I work with a Prismacolor colored pencil. And I draw over a gold ground, which is gesso. And this particular way of drawing I developed over the last 5 or 6 years, and having moved here, I just have continued, and the inspiration now is really the land and the sea and things around me.
Yeah, that's super neat, yeah. And I mean, it's such a unique way of doing it, because if I was looking at this, I would have said it was painting, but for it to be pencil, I mean, that's a very unique way of doing it, for sure.
And my background is painting. That was what I was trained at art school, so I guess I paint with pencils, maybe.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I mean, with a skill like this, I'm sure you've been at art for a long time. So when did you get into it?
Oh, well, I was always the kid in school that was, the artist. I was the one that was always drawing, but I actually did. I eventually went to art school, did a Bachelor of Fine Arts and a Master's of Fine Arts, and for about 15 years I taught drawing at NASCAD University in Halifax. So it's been basically a lifelong process.
Yeah, so I know that you were mentioning earlier that you take a lot of inspiration from local things that interest you. So maybe you want to just talk about kind of where you get your ideas and where you get the inspiration for your pieces?
I think what I'm interested in, first of all, I'm interested in my environment. So before these works that are from this area, there was a series during COVID when I was living in Halifax where I was doing long walks like a lot of people and taking images and working from those. And but I'm also interested in how a drawing can bring back to life something that has been photographed. And I'd like to think that the drawings are more intense and more real than the actual digital image. So that's what I'm always sort of playing with. And the gold for me always represents the notion of the sacred that holds us and creation and everything around us.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, so this is more of a broader one, or just kind of like a discussion one. So we're kind of asking these local artists here today, what do you think would be the best way to get some more light shine on, the local art scene? I mean, with the amount of talent that you guys have, where would you start for trying to get some, younger artists in, or people looking to get into the industry? Where would you give them that advice? Where would you point towards putting some more light on it?
Well, first of all, I think we need more initiatives like this one this evening at La Picasse. I just think that's really, really important, and it should be happening more often. And I think somehow the community has to figure out a way of bringing artists together, whether it's having a program where those of us with different backgrounds could be, for one thing, offering courses, teaching a drawing course or teaching a painting course. And I think it would be great to see a gallery. It doesn't have to be a large operation, but a small gallery where on a continual basis somebody's work is being shown and the community is being exposed to it. And I think, there's kind of a generational thing when younger people see that, yes, there's a path with art, then the impetus is there to follow their own creativity.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. There's definitely enough interest and enough talent for an art gallery, so that could really be something we could use in the future. And one more thing, just to wrap it up here. So obviously, with the detail and the time and effort it must take for a work like this, how much effort and time do you think you put in on average to one of your works?
Oh, well, that's Well, a lot of hours. There's just sometimes practical, physical things. I reach a point where my eyes are just red and sore, and I have to walk away, right? So, and it's not all hands-on. There's the time that's spent simply thinking about what you want to do. It's really difficult to kind of say where you begin and where you stop. I could say that when I'm walking and suddenly see something and take an image, that's the beginning right there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I appreciate your time here, Ian, and yeah.
Great, thank
yeah,
you, Connor.
Yeah, thank
Great.
you. It's good to talk to you. That's Ian McKinnon at La Picasse for Deveau Community Television. All right, hi everybody. I'm back here at La Picasse, another one of the local artists that were highlighted at this week's art gallery session. And I'm here with Dobson Boudrot, who's showing us some of his wood carving, some duck decoys. So thank you, Dobson, for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll just start it off just like I did with the other artists. So what are we looking at here?
So here we're looking at 3 decorative decoys. You can make them either gunning or decorative decoys, and these are 3 that don't see use in the field, but have a common goldeneye, a red-breasted merganser, and a green-winged teal.
There you go. Very cool, very cool. Lots of detail there. So I guess the first question I'll ask you to get right into it is, you know, when and why did you get into this art? I mean, this is definitely something that takes a lot of effort. So where'd you start with this?
I didn't really... So I drew inspiration from my father, who has been carving decoys for almost 30 years now. So he's always carved them growing up, and I've watched him carve them, and it was just actually last year in May that I started carving them myself. I took interest in it because I started hunting a lot more, and I wanted to carve my own. So yeah, that's basically it.
There you go. That's cool. That's cool. And so where did you kind of, like you mentioned your father, so you're kind of keeping that legacy going. Yeah. So I was going to ask you, like, where did you get your inspiration from? This is something that's been kind of in your family for a while? Yeah,
definitely. My Uncle Martin, before my father started carving decoys a long time ago, and Dad always carved them to use them for hunting and for decorative. He sold them to people all over North America. So I just kind of wanted to continue, his trade and craft kind of thing. So.
Yeah, very neat, very neat. And how long on average do you think something like this would take you? I know it probably depends on the duck, on the model itself.
The size and the amount of detail that I put into each of them definitely changes. This one here probably took me around like 50-ish hours. This one I actually completed in a week. The week leading up to the art gallery, I was a little bit pressed to get that one done, but that one probably took me about 25 hours, and this one's about 30. I'd say like on average you're looking at 30 hours per carving.
There you go. Very neat. A lot of time for sure, but that's good. I mean, you put the effort in, and you definitely have some work to show for it for sure. It's very, very unique. And just to finish it off, we're kind of asking a more broader question. I mean, with the talent obviously that local artists have, right? What do you think would kind of be the best way to get some more attention on some local artists, or even people that are just looking to get into the art industry in general?
I would say exposure, just like the art gallery that we had here at La Picasse, would definitely make a very big difference. I feel like from the area that we're in, there's not much exposure for artists unless you were to have such things as galleries, especially if we were to have it during something like the Acadian Festival, when we have a lot of people coming down. So I think finding the right opportunity with the amount of people, like the maximum amount of people we could possibly have to draw into something such as an art gallery would be really crucial to get more exposure for local artists.
Yeah, that's a good idea, and we'll have to see what we can do with that for sure. But anyway, I want to thank you again for your time here.
Thank you for having me.
And that's Dobson Boudrot at La Picasse for Deveau Community Television. There you go. Good enough? So I'm back here at La Picasse at the art exhibit here. I'm joined by Rochelle and Monique, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for interviewing us. Thanks. We're happy to be here.
Perfect. So yeah, we're just going to ask you a few basic questions here. So just in general, I mean, what does it mean for this art exhibit to be going on here tonight? It's just a great turnout, right?
It's, you know what, it's been an amazing event, and you know, I'll let certainly Monique speak about it, because it was, again, something that they came up with. But like I said, you know, this evening, the art is a way that people can talk about the history, the culture, experiences, and it's also a way that people, you know, can come together and share that, right? And so that people can either reflect upon the art, and it brings joy to people. But I'll certainly turn it over to Monique, but because she was, you know, they were the brains behind this and putting it all together. So Monique.
So I just think an evening like this is just a wonderful opportunity. We see all these artists coming together, and I think it's just a great thing to see some local artists as well as, you know, artists who have come and they've settled in the area, and to see everything that they've painted, is specifically those who come from away. It's really reflective of, you know, our area and everything around it. So it's nice to come together, be able to honor Ronald Gonzague, and have our community together once again.
Yeah, it's just terrific to see so much talent in such a small area like us. It brings us together, as you were saying, Rochelle, and it's just great to see. And also, I heard that you guys, as you announced earlier this evening, so you have a major award that you guys won. So how did that happen? What was the criteria to win that award and that acknowledgement?
So le Prix de Louis E. Deveau is a prize de Prix d'Excellence, you know, that's been around for quite some time, and they actually look at, you know, what an organization brings, and certainly promoting the French language, the culture, our Acadian certainly background and stuff, and so, you know, we're very honored, because Picasse has been open for 27 years. And it's a home, as you can see here, for a lot of the artists to come, whether it's singing, dancing, leaders, there's all kinds of events. And if we look at the Picasse, it's also home to a few other businesses, you know, that are here that promote certainly our French language and our heritage. So the price for us to receive this award is truly an honor, right? It's an honor that we're on the right course and we're doing things right to promote our culture and our language. So,
Yeah, that's
Monique,
perfect. Yeah.
No, absolutely agreeing with everything Rochelle said. It's absolutely an honor. We were given this prize, I guess it would have been last week, so it happened at Saint-Anne, Université Saint-Anne, and again, it's just recognition, not just those who are working now, but it's 27 years of work here at La Picasse that we were honored with this prize, so it's a lovely take on it.
Yeah, it's just terrific. It's perfect to see that, you know, for 27 years, the commitment and the leadership that you guys have had in our community, and it's just to be honored with such a great award like this and acknowledgement. It's great to see, and we really appreciate it. So,
thank you.
yeah, and just to kind of wrap it up, I mean, overall, I mean, like, what does this art exhibit mean to you, and what does it mean to see the community come together? It's great to see also this award, like, just all in general. I mean, it's just a great evening. Yeah.
You know what? It's amazing, because it doesn't. We live in a community that people come together to celebrate others, and here tonight is truly a reflection of the art and the passion that people have in our community. And for such a small community, we have things here that are worthy of being in museums across the world, you know, around the world. And it's amazing, as you know, certainly Monique said, that when you look around some of these pictures, and even though there's local artists, but people that have moved from Ontario that live here, but to show that the culture, that they keep it maritime, right? There's a lot of things that are central to us. So it's truly amazing, and I hope, like I was telling Monique, that this is the beginning of many, and that this will be an annual event. But and again, it's just amazing for people to be here, and you know, and surprises of people that I didn't even know painted. So I think it's in découverte, like we say. It's an opportunity to discover artists, and for people who maybe do stuff at home to have an opportunity to showcase it. So I think for us, it was a truly amazing event. Tu dirais, Monique?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that tonight was very representative of, all the talent that we have here, but we realize there's a lot of talent that, maybe next year we'll be able to call on them to come and share all of their beautiful work with us as well. So I think it was a great success, and hopefully next year we'll be able to put something quite similar on, or maybe with a little special twist. So,
There we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and I really hope to see everybody and all the artists and all the effort next year, and I'm sure I'll be marking my calendars for sure. All right. Thank you guys so much, and that's Rochelle and Monique for Tillil Community Television at La Picasse.